Hey guys, George and Jake at EDC. Gonna be having a little bit of fun today. I'm gonna try not to embarrass myself too much. Got a new blue gun here from Rings. This will be the Shield in 4-inch and 9mm. Now he's had the 380 out, so coming out in 9mm and the 4-inch is brand new. It was enough different that I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Seems to be popular. See if you can get a close up here, Jake, just some of the differences. We got some sculpting here, a little bit here, good ports here. The mag release is in a good place. This is close enough. I'm not concerned about any holster lock. Little chunky little goomer, as you can see. Things that we're going to use today to do this. Yes, guys, I'm going to hand jam a pattern. Haven't done it forever. I use the computer. We're going to use Parker's holster making tools, an eraser, protractor, ruler, pencil, the ever-present pencil sharpener, and I got a length of belt to show a couple things here. That, and we're going to use a stitch trace. This stitch trace is not out yet. It should be tonight. If I can get it locked down, I'll get it out for everybody. So I have that one, and we have the Hellcat too to drop this weekend. So let's give it a shot here. First thing I want to do is mark out my grip relief. I want 1 inch of grip relief on this little booger. So we're going to come in here, and I'm just merely going to mark 1 inch, tick mark. I'm going to do it again. There is that. I'm going to come in here with Parker's handy dandy tool. This is the leather, this is the belt slot. So I want to get a mark here. Also, I'm going to lay this puppy about 1.25 inches out. So using Parker's tools, when I do that, I'll mark it at 1 inch and lay his belt slot. So if I mark it at 1 inch, I will lay his belt slot right on the side of that. And so then to the center is actually where we're measuring it to. So that's going to give you that little bit of leeway that I want. So from the trigger guard stitch, I'm going to make a little line there. That's at 1 inch. I'm going to lay that right here on the side, and I'm going to lay that hole in. I'm laying that in before I do my belt slot. I know that I want 10 degrees. I know that I want this thing to go as deep as I can into there. So now it's really a matter of me lining up and trying to spot 10 degrees to here. It looks like for my depth, that's it right about there. Get a mark on my protractor. We'll see how close we are. There's my belt. Wow, look at that. All right, first hurdle. I got that part done. So next thing I got to do is I want my belt slots to be perpendicular or at 90 degrees from the belt itself. We'll do that. I'm going to come right back out here, do the exact same measurement. Everything looks good there. My mark. Get a mark. Have a 90-degree line. Let me show you why we're doing this, guys. I'm seeing guys that are laying their belt slots at the same angle as the stitch line. Which makes sense when you're drawing it, but the reality is, if the weapon is at a 10-degree cant, now the belt slot's not going to fit. If I've got it at 90 degrees, this is an 1.5 inch one, or that's the 2 inch. Here we go. Now the belt slot works perfectly. This weight travels a longer distance. Doesn't really achieve anything structurally, so let's do it at 90 degrees, and now we know that his tool is going to work perfectly. So now I'm going to line this tool up, and I'm going to center it on that first line, and I'm going to trace around. This will let us break Parker's heart later. On this side, I'm going to give her just a little bit more room. I've come to the side of the belt slot. Why I'm doing this is I'm camming that grip back into the body. Looks pretty good. We're going to mark the holes. I'm not the speed guy like Parker is with these, but I had to shut the guys up the shop, show them that I can still draw a pattern this way. There we go. So now I got my stitch lines, I got my belt, and I got my belt slots. Everything from here ought to be pretty simple. Let's see how I do.
Top of your slot isn't on the belt.
Ha! Alright, Jake, you're embarrassing me. Remember I said how important a ruler is? Let's try this again. All you guys that know Jake now can cheer because he got one over on me. We're not going for another take. We're doing this one the way it goes. All right, here we go. Remember how important I said the eraser was? It's hypercritical for me. Next thing I want to do, I want to get the back going for my body shield. I want to clear the mag release. Since marked it out in such a handy fashion, and Parker has made us tools with lovely curves. We get that line right there. Alright. Nice shape to that right there. I almost come up here about 1/8 of an inch above that. One thing I love about his templates is they're cleared. I can see my pattern through it, make some decisions. So now we got a body shield that's going to keep that thing from biting anybody so much. Now there's a cool little tool here that what I call a step tool. This here is a half inch radius, and the inside of that little hanging deal is a 1/2 inch away from there. So watch this puppy. I'm going to flip it over. Do the same thing. I'm using the hole that's actually there for you to hang this thing from to get the same measurement left and right. Boy, that just makes me happy. Going to go back to the French curve. I'm kind of noting where I'm using this curve because I want to use it again. So here we're going to take another little measurement. I'm going to get just a little marker here because I want to use that exact same curve that I used on the left side. Oh, and now I'm going to use it on the right side. Little symmetry there. Now the part to make Parker really feel good about life. Parker, you gave me tools with curves. Remembering what part I used. Look at them ears. It's gonna look great with my curved belt slot. Next thing is I want a burly sweat shield. I don't want some little wimpy sweat shield that's gonna get moist and then fold over so the client is unable to reholster his weapon with one hand. And that's an Eric Larson tradition. So it's actually going to curve as it gets molded. It's going to look great. And I don't like that. I'm rotating this French curve around, and I want to intersect the rear of the holster at the back of the mag release. And fellas, I'm not as fast as Parker is, but we got a pattern here. And that'll work. Jake, should we put a reinforcement panel on this?
Sure.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Let's talk about reinforcement panels. See a lot of guys that are taking in a reinforcement panel, they're stitching another piece of leather onto the holster right on top of the frame of the weapon. For reinforcing, it does absolutely nothing. They've added another thickness of layer of leather to the throat of the holster, but they've not gained any rigidity. We want to start 1/8 of an inch off of the stitch line. We want to mold that curve, that arc coming over the side of the weapon. When that dries, now we're going to get rigidity, we're going to get structure, it doesn't collapse. If we don't do that, we put on a pretty piece of leather to look cool, but we've added nothing to our holster. So let's lay down some a couple 1/8 inch marks here. Let's get ourselves a line going. And fellas, the foot of your machine is going to go right in there. So you get closer, you're not going to get the foot of your machine in. You hand stitching guys can do a lot of amazing things. Could perhaps do more than we can in some of this area. And I'm proud of you. The world needs more fellas hand stitching. Next thing I want to deal with here is I want a radius on this side. I want it to come all the way to the meat of the trigger guard. I want it to be a large enough radius that Garrett can stitch it. But he needs to also have room to mold and get some retention in this area here. So I'm going to have to play with this just a minute to get that cool style radius. Well, looky there, Parker. You know, there's an amazing amount of curves in your tools. And you know, I had to think that a fellow like you likes curves. Okay, I'm going to come in 1.25 inches here, 1.25 inches here. I'm going to get me a reference line. Still want to get some good molding in here. I want to get some molding in here. What's going on? So this is going to be the narrowest part. Looking at it, let's only come in 1 inch and see what that looks like. Yeah, I just got to play with this. Paper's a lot cheaper than leather. Erasers are cheap, thank goodness. Back to our French curve again. Maybe I should have been French. I like French fries. Jake, does that make me French?
No.
French toast? Just picking a standard reference here. I'm going to go a little higher than that. I'm going to go 1.25 inches to the bottom of my page. just looking for a reference point so I can get the same measurement twice. Pretty happy with that. Alrighty, and the last thing we're gonna have to do now is put a little bit of radius into our corners. Hopefully one that Garrett feels he can stitch. Flip it over. Use the important tool again. Alright guys, here's what we got. Using Parker's tools. JR, didn't know if you knew how many wonderful curves that you put in that tool set. But we've got a stitch lines laid in. Got the same radius here that we have here. Nice thick beefy body reinforcement, throat reinforcement. You can carve or you can do something on that as well. And we'll give this to Garrett and Jeff, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll see a pattern. But thanks a lot guys, I hope this helps. Bye.